Welcome to another DK Custom Products video. My name is Kevin, and today we are going to install a premium discrete breather system with a filter on this Sportster. And before we get started on this EBS with the filter install, please like, comment, and subscribe to our videos. It really helps us out. Last week we got interrupted while we were filming, and so today we're picking back up and we're going to install the external breather system on the Sportster. It's generally the same process, whether it's a twin cam, Milwaukee 8, or a Sporty. It's the same process that we're going to go through. We've already taken off the air cleaner, and now we're going to get ready to put the external breather system on here prior to our install of an Outlaw high flow air cleaner. So let's look and see what is in this kit. This is a premium discrete breather system, Harley Sportster and Big Twin Evo. And there's the instructions. Let's take a look and see what's in here. Bunch of hardware, instructions. It says there's one filter, okay? There's 6 foot of hose, okay? There's 6 zip ties. There they are. There are 4 hose clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a black T connector. There's a brass T connector. And then there are 4 flat washers. There's 2 banjo bolts and 2 banjo fittings. So we have everything we need. And of course we have the support bracket, which is part of the 587 air cleaner kit that we're installing later. The first step in installing the external breather system is making sure your support bracket is in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get this lined up. You'll notice the holes for going through the support bracket are quite a bit larger. So you don't want to tighten this down, the support bracket down with these bolts, because you won't be sure that they're lined up for the bolts going into the throttle body. So we're going to put these bolts in first so that we have the support bracket exactly where it needs to be. Now once these are in and this is lined up, you can see the throttle body is rubber mounted in the manifold, so there's always a little play. And so that's why, here I'll show you, watch this. See that? So that's why a support bracket is needed. It's what keeps that throttle body firmly in place in the rubber mount. And you can see I can go through there and I can go through there. So now I am ready for my banjo bolt. Gets a washer, then the banjo fitting, and then a washer. Now, Harley uses a Teflon paste on these threads, and it leaves a gummy mess in there. Some people like to use thread locker. What I like to use is regular old Teflon tape. I just wrap that Teflon tape around these threads. It's much less messy than Teflon paste, and it holds better than thread locker. It keeps oil from seeping down the threads. We put this in here like this. Washer, banjo fitting, washer. And how this works, by the way, is the hot, oily, oxygen-depleted air comes out of the crankcase, up the pushrod tubes, through the rocker covers, down into the head, into that hole, out this hole, and then out this banjo fitting to a hose to the filter that we're going to be using. Or if you're using a catch can, to the catch can that you use. What it doesn't do is it doesn't go into the combustion chamber and make a mess. This is 3/4 inch. And the torque settings on this are 10 to 12 foot-pounds or 120 to 144 inch-pounds. Now, very few of us have a torque wrench that is accurate down to that low. You want to get these snugged up tight. Once they bottom out, if you turn them another 1/4 of a turn, 1/8 of a turn to 1/4 of a turn. And then you want to make sure that you leave this banjo fitting at an angle where you can get the hose up in there. Okay. So I have these snugged down plus about 1/8 of a turn. So that's in place. We're going to be taking these screws back out when we put the air cleaner on it, but we had to have those in there to make sure that that was lined up well. One thing for sure, before I do anything else, is I'm going to run a hose from here and a hose from here, and I'm going to connect it with the T. There's 2 T's. Some people don't like the plastic black and prefer the brass metal one. Plastic black is fine with me. So I'm going to put the hose on here, and I want to run that hose to about right, not quite the center, right there. I'm going to run from here. I'm going to cut this about right here. A little trick just to make it easier when you're doing your test fitting, because you're probably going to be putting the hose on and off of these barbs, is you can just spray inside the hose a little silicone, or you can spray it right on the fittings, and then that way it makes it a little bit easier to slide these in and take them apart while you're doing your test fitting. So you see, this is not in the center. I still need to cut this hose just a little bit shorter because I want this to be more in the center, and I don't want this hose to bulge out behind the air cleaner cover. So we're going to cut another, I'd say about another inch off of here. I'm going to put the filter and let it hang right below the air cleaner right here. And we're going to do that here in a second. Before we do, you have 6 foot of hose. You can run your filter anywhere you want. Just make sure that the hose is not touching the engine, especially the cylinder fins, the head fins, the drive belt, or the exhaust. I'll give you an example. We have the filter element running right along here, the hose, and then there's the filter element right there. So you can put your filter element anywhere you want. For a simple look, I'm putting it right here below the air cleaner. So you can put this, you can route the hose anywhere you want, put your filter anywhere you want. I'm just going to put the filter right here. Push it right up on there. And this already has a hose clamp on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this hose clamp down. And we do provide hose clamps to go here, 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 and here. I much prefer to use zip ties. The hose is black. The bike has a theme of black. And so what I do is I put zip ties. It's not a high pressure system. It's just flowing. I just put zip ties around each of these. Tighten it down. The probability is that this is never going to come off even without a zip tie. But I like that look better than the hose clamps. And this is all going to be hidden behind the air cleaner. So there you have it, folks, an installation of a premium discrete breather system with the filter. And it's pretty much the same on a Sportster, twin cam, even an Evo or an M8. Banjo fittings down to the T, to a filter, and you can run that filter element wherever you want. So it's a very simple install, and as you can see from the pictures that we'll put in right here of all the crap that was going into your engine that is now not going into your engine anymore, it is well worth it. You all ride safe out there.